And we had another shooting. It was Jacob Blake. He was another victim of a senseless shooting by police and an unarmed man. I'm not going to say white cop. I'm not going to say black man. I'm going to say a cop shot another unarmed individual. Didi, Brianna, actually. Kind of, you've been out the loop a little bit. You've been in Vegas, hanging out.
I've been in Vegas and swamped with work.
So I know, but Brandon, what have you heard about this? What have you heard about this? And there's a lot of stuff going on. So there's a lot of speculation. It just happened this past Sunday. So a lot of information is rumors and it hasn't come out, so we don't know what's really going on. What'd you hear about it, Bree? Rumors, anything. I just want to hear what.
I think I've heard just about what everybody else heard, that he allegedly he pulled up to stop a dispute of someone fighting, and the cops were called, and you see what happened with the rest.
So he had a history. So you said something along the lines, in May he had a sexual assault charge on him, or a case or something.
There's a sexual assault charge from his ex-girlfriend from May 3rd of this year that he got into the house and he sexually assaulted her.
With the finger, it said.
Yes.
With the finger, so.
That he.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, and thought that she was cheating or whatever. That the real reason he went there was to get his stuff out of her place. And he was drunk and belligerent, and she told him to leave.
And he had some previous assault, causing bodily harm, drunken behavior. So he had a record.
So the fuck would.
Thank you. So that's kind of what happened. What did you hear about it, KK? What did you hear about?
Basically, what she's saying. So.
And what did you hear about the actual shooting?
What do you mean?
What'd you hear? Like the
From
videos?
the video?
Yeah, anything? What did you hear? I mean, what did you hear about what happened? Why they came out there?
I heard he was breaking up a fight. And people saying different shit like, oh, he said he's finna go to his car and get his gun. I mean, like, even if he said that shit, you still, if I'm trying to get you on the ground, I'm not gonna have a gun in my hand and do the shit with one hand.
Yeah.
Like, that's the shit that pissed me off. Like, he got to the car, okay. Was his kids in the car? That's what I heard too.
Yeah. 3 kids, I think, in the car.
3 kids in the car.
Yeah.
There are so many videos of white people getting pulled over or. Now fuck that, nigga. This is what I don't like. They come at police when they really should be scared.
Okay.
Boom, with a fucking rubber bullet. Why we can't get hit with rubber bullets and put down with rubber bullets? Like, you shot this man 7 fucking times. Like, he didn't fall because he was leaning in the fucking car.
Yeah.
So, if you shoot him the first time and you hit, okay, you got him.
Well, with the rubber bullets, not saying it's a bad. It's not. You have to be prepared. Most cops don't carry rubber bullets. That's more of like a task force that are trying to have like a riot gear.
Well, they need to start getting that shit to police.
Yeah, they got real fucking bullets and a taser. That's all they got.
These motherfuckers got a belt with all kind of shit. And it's always the gun they go for first.
They ain't got no option. Well, they tried to tase him. It didn't phase him.
It don't phase a lot of people though. I've seen a lot of people just pull them motherfuckers out their body like nothing.
Well, they have to go in your body first. And
Yeah.
both prongs have to go in your body, and a lot of times it doesn't. So that's kind of what that situation is. Tasers, they work very rarely. Maybe they work a lot. I don't know. But I heard the same shit. He was in an altercation, got into a fight, and I think he had the keys to his girlfriend, ex-wife, or whoever the female was. I don't want to give her a label. And she called the cops out to, hey, I need to get my shit from him. He has my stuff. Females, listen, can y'all please do me a favor, all right? Stop calling the law. I don't want to say that because sometimes the laws are needed. But if you don't need the laws to get involved in your life, please do not involve the laws in situations that are not needed. As you can see, it hasn't turned out too well for most of us, like at all. But he was going. He had her keys. She called the police to get the keys from him. Police came out to kind of break up the situation. After they broke it up, they fought, scuffled. There's a second video that just came out from the other side, the passenger side of the car. They were scuffling. They both got him on the ground. He somehow got out of the police grasp. If you have two people whooping one dude, there's no fucking way that dude's side is going to whoop me and KK. Period. I'm going to put that out there right now. He got up, walked to his car calmly. He got shot. Walked into a car, took a step into the car, shot him 7 times in the back, saying that he was going for a knife.
So I got 2 things with all of this. Number one, starting with the police officer, like you were saying, don't call the police or whatever if it's not necessary. I get what you're saying, okay? I agree with that. The other thing is, didn't we just say he assaulted her is it the same chick?
He had a very bad rap sheet.
With her. So I'm just talking about his relationship with her.
In life.
Right?
He had a bad rap sheet in life.
No, but I'm talking about...
Oh, just with her.
With her, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 'cause I'm trying to make a point. So maybe that's probably why she called the police, because maybe
Which
she
makes sense.
felt, maybe that's probably why.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay, so that's probably why she called the police this time, because she felt...
Threatened.
Yeah. If he did do that to her.
Now
I don't know.
Now all this, not to say anything against what you're saying, but all this did happen outside. So it wasn't like they're in the house. Not saying, just to give you an idea, if you haven't seen the videos, if you don't know what's going on, this altercation was outside. It wasn't inside to where she was inside feeling threatened. They were outside.
Well, she could have felt threatened outside.
No,
too.
you can feel threatened inside or outside.
It doesn't matter where. She could have felt threatened. So that's one thing. The other thing
Which makes very good sense.
is back to like what KK was saying. I'm not going to call the black or the white or whatever, but it all boils down to we see other people being handled differently. You can have one person with a gun and it can be 5 police officers and they're going to try to talk him into, stopping whatever it he's doing. But when it's someone else, it's shoot. So again, it goes back to the point that I always make when we have these conversations is that where's the equality in treatment?
That sucks when you sit here and have to say when we always have these conversations, but that's another conversation.
Well, we have.
No,
We've talked about this
all the time. It sucks that we have these conversations.
Because when this happens, the first thing we do is find videos of the other race and how these situations are handled.
But the thing I don't like about when we compare videos of how some cops handle white people is because I believe I fuck with the cops, right? I fuck with black people. This is the thing. It's not a Crips or blood type deal where you can only be one side and not the other.
Right.
I fuck with black people. I fuck with white people. Fuck with Hispanics. And I fuck with the cops. I fuck with people, period.
Yeah.
The thing is that sometimes these cops that are running from these white people, so to speak, and we've seen all this shit, like those are sometimes the good cops. I'm pretty sure the individual would have most likely done that when there was a black person. Because sometimes cops just do it right?
I get that. But then why aren't there cases of...
There are. White people get shot by cops also.
They do, and I'm not saying that they don't.
Yeah.
It's just the way that they're handling a lot of these cases. Or
They don't
or
get
they're handling,
shot the way we get.
Yeah,
No.
they don't get
Remember,
handled the way
we had that video.
I'm
Remember
agreeing
that
with you,
video
mind you.
that we had
Which one?
when
We
the
had a lot
black
of them.
people was like, "Yeah, shoot that motherfucker." Like that's how the fuck we feel. You remember what I'm talking about when the white?
That white dude got laid out, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm
He
saying?
was
Like
out
they were like,
there.
"Man, shoot that mother!" Like that's
They
just
refused.
Because if it was me, exactly. That's exactly how the fuck we feel.
But that's how we feel. Now, the reality of it. Now, I'm not just playing the devil's advocate to play the devil's advocate. Mm-hmm. The reality of the situation is that it goes both ways. Now, is there a racial undertone to everything that happens in this country? Yes. I'm not going to deny that.
That's what America was built on.
I am not going to
Racism.
deny that. So we are not treated equally by the cops.
Right.
But I hate that we put racism on everything, right? Are cops more threatened by black people? Yes, they are. We are, as black people, I feel we are the more aggressive race, right? But we grew up like that. We had to grow up like that. You know, I mean,
say that.
I mean, everyone's like, black people loud. Nigga, we had to be loud growing up how we grew up. I grew up in a house of fucking 14. If I wasn't loud and outspoken, I wouldn't be heard. You've had to be loud. We have a different creed as black people. I wish a motherfucker would type creed.
But we nice too though. So.
No, but I'm not saying we're not nice. I'm saying we're
You don't
also.
think we nice
No, I'm
as
not
a race?
disagreeing.
Like
No,
yeah.
We can't deny the
That's
simple
a-
fact that we
No,
are
because
different
Asian
race.
people are loud as hell too. So I mean, to just be like,
But we're not talking about Asian. We're talking about
no, but I'm just saying we can't just say black people are this way and we're that way when there's other races or whatever who are that way as well.
Puerto Ricans are loud.
They're
But again,
just-
I don't think that's an insult. I don't think us being loud and aggressive is an insult. That's something we had to have always been. We've always had to fight for our shit.
So are we more? So okay, we're
We
aggressive.
just we loud.
right?
Like I mean, it's not
Are we
always.
what?
It's not always
So
aggressive.
okay, so what were you saying? Like we're more aggressive. Black people are more aggressive in your opinion.
And I mean, in my
that what you're saying?
In my opinion, black people, we are very dominant. We're very powerful. We're very boisterous. We're very aggressive when we have to be. We don't back down from shit as a whole if we don't feel like we should, right? Is that a threat to white people that are very submissive and passive? Of course that's going to be a threat to them because that's not their creed. That's not their nature. We are a wish our motherfucker would type race. Let's be honest. But we've had to be that way to gain the bullshit, shitty position that we're in now, which is, in my opinion, better than where we were 100 years ago. So,
Is it?
I mean, yes, it is. We're not. I mean, you understand the hanging,
Yeah.
the lynchings, and shit that was going on back
I
then.
mean,
It
that
is nowhere
part
near
was-
as bad, but that part's a big part, though.
So hold on real quick. We got Jarvis commenting here.
Pittman,
Yep.
you back in town, Jarvis?
He says we had to fight for freedom for right to vote. Oh, jeez.
Did you hiccup or burp or what?
No,
the fuck
someone
was
else is commenting, so it kind of moved.
that? Okay.
We had to fight for freedom, for right to vote, for civil rights, etc. The same things white people are born with the right to do.
Yeah. So I mean, we had to fight for that. So our creed is different, bro. So to sit here and pretend that we're not naturally looked upon as the aggressor, not because we want to, because we had to be, is ignorant of us. Like I told you before, if I go home in a dark alley, there's an alley to the right, alley to the left, white people to the right, black people to the left. I'm going down the alley with the white folks. I feel like I can fuck all them up. The black alley, you know, not saying I'm afraid of them, but if I had to fight them niggas, I would rather not fight them niggas. I'd rather fight that group of white folks.
Y'all better quit thinking white people can't fight either.
But you better quit thinking niggas can't fight neither. You don't
Who don't think that?
exactly. We don't think niggas can't fight. We feel we can take on some white folks. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So that threat that police have,
Yeah.
So that threat that police have naturally is the same threat we have when we look, not a threat, but the same way we look at each other. We understand it, but we pretend like we don't. So that's what I was talking about before. We can't put ourselves in these situations knowing what we're up against.
What situations? Getting for the police to come?
There's situations that, go ahead.
What about getting pulled over? Like, so you saying don't know that your back blinker don't work, you know what I'm saying, and get pulled over and get fucked over off some shit like that?
No,
Have you ever been in a car with a white person that got pulled over?
I've been, yes.
How did that go?
It goes well.
Quick story. I was leaving work one night. This had to be like 2 a.m. Motherfucker, he was flying down through Cibolo off 35.
Yeah.
Police pulled the motherfucker over. And I'm like, oh man, they finna fuck you up on this one. He's going at least 90. I'm just sitting on the passenger like, oh yeah, let me
about
see
to
how
get
this
it.
go. Police looked at this motherfucker license and he had a Stone Oak zip code. He like, what are you doing here? What are y'all doing here? He like, I'm just giving him a ride home from work. He was like, why you going so fast? He was like, you just late. I'm just trying to get home. He like, have a nice day. And I swear to God, I was like, what? Say the dude was like, well, shut the fuck up. I like, nah, fuck that. Nah, hell no.
Arrest us.
Man, 90. I like, if I'm going 50, my motherfucking ass. And then like, I was just glad to see that they asked, what are you doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
Because every time I get pulled over,
They ask you the same shit.
yeah, nigga, what the fuck you mean? Because I'm not in the zip code that's on my license. Like, I can't be here.
I got a car and it takes me other places.
Yeah, that's the worst question. And that question puts me in a motherfucking mood. Like, and I know I ain't supposed to be in a mood. I'm like, man,
Yeah.
nigga, what you mean what I'm doing here? Like, just write the fucking ticket. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know I do stupid shit. And now I don't. I'm just yes sir, no sir. But back then when I was young, what the fuck you mean, man? Just write the ticket, let me go. Shit, like
You posted about this though.
Yeah.
You posted talking about how, you know, hey, white folks, when your kids get older, do y'all have these conversations about how you need to interact with the cops?
Yeah.
So let's not pretend we don't understand how we're perceived.
Yeah.
And let's not also pretend that it's not warranted. Our threat that we have as black men, as black women, we have to have that. We've grown up.
I agree
with
on that. I mean, I agree on that part. Yeah.
So Andrea says, we don't want to go to war. White people come out the pussy shooting.
True.
That's fun. That is hilarious.
She said they come out the pussy shooting.
That is hilarious.
No, I mean, we don't want to go to war, but the thing is, we still wish the motherfucker would. We're not afraid to. At least most of us aren't, you know?
So we have someone that wants to call in. Dante Tucker says he wishes he could call in. I gave him the number, so.
Yeah, tell him to call in. Is he on WhatsApp?
You know Dante?
Oh.
So, Dante, if you want to call in, download WhatsApp.
Oh.
You have the number, and we'll hear your ring, and we'll answer the phone. You can chime in. But that's the thing. So when this happens, we have to understand that, right? At some point, should he now in any cases should he have gotten shot in his back 7 times? No.
Oh.
My opinion,
No.
he should got his ass whooped behind the car when the first 2 police was on him the first time.
But do you see how everybody said no?
Yeah.
Nobody said, yeah, but he got a fucking record. I mean, like, that shit is pointless. Like, stuff really don't bother me.
Yeah.
Right.
This shit bothered me on social media this week. Like,
I was deleting motherfuckers.
like, it was just like, I was deleting people, like I was saying, like, that motherfuckers that's coached my son. You know what I'm saying? Like, that could be my son, and you gonna tell me? So Kiarby got fucking locked up for some bullshit. He got a fucking record, so he deserved to get shot in his back.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need motherfucker want to inbox me. Hey, it wasn't personal, man. Please get the fuck out of my inbox, dog. Like, that shit
personal.
happens to us, dog. Like, y'all throwing this shit off like it ain't real. Like, this shit is real, man. Like, we really, I mean, I ain't gonna say we getting hunted, but man, it sure feel like it.
The thing I say is, like, you know, I tell white people, like, you'll never have to worry about your child coming home after they've been called a nigga and be confused crying.
Yeah.
Like, these are things that you'll never have. Let's say if your child was called a colonizer or a cracker, you know, like, okay, you can bring that argument, but, like, that's kind of warranted. Like, y'all kind of deserve that title of colonizer. And, you know, it worked out for you guys. So,
It really did.
So I don't understand how you're sad about someone calling you a colonizer. Yeah. But somebody calling you a nigger?
Well, if you call him a nigger lover, that'll probably grind their gears.
Yeah. Hold on. Dante? Hold on. I'll see if I do him one better. See if I can give him a call. Who was the caller you said you had?
Dante Tucker.
See if we get Dante Tucker kind of interested on what his take is. Watch, he gonna be calling in talking about, hey, y'all got a couch to sell? Dante. See if Dante has a. We'll try him again. See if he has an 817 number. Contact him and see what's going on with Dante. I'm very interested on his take. But anyway, so that's the case. So, I mean, it's one of those situations that I've said time and time again is that, you know, we can't sit here and, you know, go into these.
That's the number you dial?
No, I did not.
No,
Oh, you
that's
know
it.
Dante.
That's my cousin, for real.
Okay. Oh, yeah. No, okay. Well, I don't know who the fuck I dialed. I'm just calling.
I think it said 817 number.
Yeah, that's Dante's number.
You want me to call?
No, we're gonna call him through here. Tell him, have him download WhatsApp and tell him to call. But that's the thing. It's one of those situations. Again, we talked about. We need to talk about it again. I'm waiting for Dante to call. So the thing about that, the aftermath of that, and I thought that was beautiful. So the shooting happened. What day was that, Brianna? Sunday. Oh shit, Dante. Socially responsibly on the mic. I thought that was cool. Is that a cool way to answer the phone?
Yeah, smart.
Hello, can y'all hear me?
Yes, is this Dante?
Yeah, this is Dante. What's going on?
Nothing much. I heard you're KK's kinfolk, huh?
Yeah, that's my cousin, man.
Already. Well, I want to say thank you for tuning in and listening to the Socially Responsible podcast. We've heard that you have a take. Let's hear it, man. Give it to us.
Yeah, man, I've been on one tonight. What's up, KK? You doing all right, bro?
I'm good, fam. What's up, man?
Good, man, good. So I just wanted to call. I heard what you said about white people versus black people, how we kind of like, we wish a motherfucker, wish a person would. I don't mean to curse.
You can cuss.
We've been doing it already.
Oh, okay. But I feel like that's incorrect. White people have been this way since they came to America. I mean, they took this country by by storm by rioting and looting and tricking the Indians, and
Mm-hmm.
you know they went to Africa and took us from our family, stole our heritage, beat us for 400 years. You know, spit in the face of people who tried to march against and protest against injustices. Just for people to say, even till today, you know, y'all not rioting, y'all not marching the right way. You know, rioting is wrong. But you look at Black Wall Street, they went over there and burned down the whole goddamn city,
Bombed that
you
whole
know, and
thing
killed
up.
over 300 black people. You know what I mean? Just because a white woman said that she got raped by a black man in the elevator. So, you know, when you say white people are, you know, they're domicile or they're not aggressive, that's, to me, that's BS, man. They're super aggressive. They just, I think the problem with white people is they're afraid that we're going to do to them what they've been doing to us for 500
That's
years.
exactly what it
the
is.
fear.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the fear.
I agree.
They like, he's
100%.
like, one day retribution is going to come. One day black people are going to rise up together and say, we've had enough. We're going to do to y'all what y'all been doing to us. That's what black people are afraid of.
That's what white people are
nobody
afraid
talks
of.
about.
That's
what white people are afraid of. I'm sorry.
And that's why they got to
white
keep
people
everybody
don't-
divided, so that way
Exactly.
we
That's
don't come
why they got
together.
to keep us down.
And
That's
keep
why
it.
they want to talk about Black Lives Matter, not the Ku Klux Klan, not the Aryan Nation. You know, those hate groups been around for a long time, but Black Lives Matter comes around something positive for black people to get together, like the Black Panther Party, and it's a problem. You know, is they burning down stuff, and how could they do this to our communities? White people have been doing that shit for years.
I think that I agree with what you're saying. Everything you're saying, you're spitting. So I agree with everything. White people are, and I don't want to say white people because, you know, I would love to label all white people, but I really fuck with and know some really down cool white folks. So again,
Hey, but
They know
they
black
label
people.
us. They label us.
Yeah. No, but
they don't say some black people are criminals. They say black. Like, look at the president.
no. I mean, you're right with everything you're saying, but we have to kind of.
Why we gotta be different?
We don't have
Why
to
we got exactly? Why we got to do it?
for this. It's one. I mean, but what I'm saying is that white people, you know, they are.
They're aggressive.
They're very aggressive.
They're aggressive,
but they're passive. They're very passive with their aggression. It's not the same, and it's almost
aggressive is aggressive.
It just don't scare us. You're like, man, get the fuck out of here.
and that's the
with that
thing.
shit.
It's completely their fight is not what our fight was. So I get what you're saying. Are they aggressive? Have they done some shit? But it's all been some hoe ass shit. It's like that nigga that punch in the club and hide in the club and hide behind everybody. Nigga that'll punch you in your gut and then just go
Right there.
and then just go duck and hide. You know what I mean?
Right.
So their aggression, it is real. I get it. But it's always been on some sideways shit. It's never been like you know what I mean?
Well, I'll say I agree. I agree
Sneaky.
with what you're saying. It's true, but now because we have Donald Trump in office, I feel like the aggression is coming out more.
They still
Because
bitches
now
though.
people-
They still
now,
be hoes.
now people. Well, I mean, they're bitches, but I mean, you know, they get together in their rallies with the, you know, "Make America Great Again." My question has always been, when was America great? What time period are we talking about? You know, so to say "Make America Great Again," I think is some bullshit. And
Again,
then
agreed.
you know they're tough when they're in numbers. That's how I look at it. You know, when they're
And they know if
5
we
or
were to
10
get
of them
together,
motherfuckers riding on the back of a truck looking for a black person to mess with, when there's 5 or 6 cops on one black man when they pull him over in his car for a speeding ticket or a taillight out and they end up shooting his ass. You know, they're tough in numbers. So I agree. They're gonna throw their rocks and hide their hands when there's one of them, but when there's 2 or 3 or more of them gathered, shit, they tough.
I mean, they're legally tough. They still hide behind their privilege. You know what I mean? So again, you're not saying nothing incorrect at all.
Right.
And I know you're not
They
on here
created that privilege
to be
for
right. I
themselves.
know you're not on here to be wrong.
No,
you're here to
not
speak
at
your
all.
truth.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. But
Yeah.
I don't like to say but because it means like everything.
Fuck your point, nigga.
Fuck your point,
But-
nigga.
yeah,
You said all that to say this, nigga. Fuck, but
you wrong and I'm right.
Yeah, but I hate to say but what I'm saying is that, you know, they are equally aggressive as you say. It's just their aggression is different. It's not for the right to walk the streets. It's not for the right for the kids to be free. It's not for the right to eat at the same restaurants or have the same equal liberties. Their aggressiveness is because, you know, I don't want you on my side of town. And it's kind of passive. We're going to fucking call the cops and run away. We're going to, you know, we're you know, and that's kind of their
just
situation.
to keep the control.
Exactly.
That's all it is.
Yeah,
It's
I was
just
about
to keep the control. And if they got to
Exactly.
butter you up a little bit, like they've been doing for years, then that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
I mean, and then they run a lot of shit. You know, music industry, what we watch, what we listen to, how we portray ourselves. That's
I
the way
think
they
it's-
keep us.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's even deeper than that. You know, they
Oh, yeah.
brainwashed us as a people to believe
Absolutely.
white is right. You know,
Yep.
because the host said, you know, if it was an alley full of black people or an alley full of white people, he'd take the white side because he think he can whoop them. But that's like the wolf in sheep's clothing. That's what they want you to believe. But they gonna get you. They gonna get you worse than we gonna get you.
Yeah, they gonna skin your
Because-
motherfucking ass.
They're going to passively aggressively get me down the road, but as far as that fight, fucking them up.
Nah, they gonna get you, man. They gonna get you, and then they gonna call the cops, and the cops gonna kill you. We just gonna beat your ass and let you go home.
That's that, and
There
that's
you
that
go.
passive
They gonna kill
aggressive
your
shit,
ass.
and that's that passive
they gonna
aggressive.
kill
They'll get me down the road, but for that fight, I'm fucking them up, and that's the difference. And you know what I
You
mean?
just want to win the fight.
No, I mean, because
And then die.
because I'm thinking about going home. I'm not thinking about dying that night. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. The police are going. Them white folks gonna kill you, man. Look, there's many of examples of black people getting drugged behind a truck in Texas. You know what I mean? There's plenty of examples of a man jogging down the street, as we know, went into a vacant house, came out, and then white neighbors killed his ass. You know, there's the white. You think that you gonna go down there and take out them white folks? Them white folks is ready for your ass. Like I'm telling you.
So how do you feel about this whole? Not just how do you feel about the Jacob Blake situation? Do you think it has? Again, we know it has a racial undertone. We know it has a racial undertone. So we're not even going to comment on that. But do you think it was race based?
Yes.
You do?
Always do. Any interaction with the police, I think, is race based.
Okay.
And I'll give you a quick little story real fast. In San Antonio, Texas, there's a program called the Citizens Police Academy, and anybody can sign up, and you'll get I think it's 16 weeks of training with the police as a citizen. You show up on Tuesday nights. They give you a ride in a patrol car. They show you the dogs. They show you the helicopter. You know, you get to go through like the whole police academy, what the police do, but as a citizen. Like you don't get paid, as volunteer based.
Uh-huh.
So when I went in there, they talk about the demographic of representation of our population versus theirs. So there's, of course, more Hispanics in San Antonio than anybody, but the white people are at the top, and then the smaller demographic of black officers is very small, just like the number in San Antonio.
So you fuck with the police?
Yeah, the police. Yeah, San Antonio SAPD.
Okay, fuck with the police, huh?
No, I don't, man. Fuck the police. Real talk.
I'm just messing with you. Go ahead.
No. I did
Unless
that
them
just
niggas
so
is
I could,
running
I
in my
did that
house.
so I could see, because I feel like I want to know what kind of training these people get, because they don't know how to handle us out here. And I say all that to say, I believe it was racial because even though I had a background check done on me, I'm an executive for the government. I have a government job. I make good money. I've been doing it for 18 years now.
Okay.
Even with all of that, when I got on my ride along with the police, they was looking at me crazy. I got a fucking SAPD t-shirt on. Like, damn, I've been in the class for 8 weeks. Y'all know I ain't finna do nothing to nobody. Y'all telling me to go ride with this person, and it took like half a shift for them to finally like kind of calm down and
loosen up.
Now we can kind of be.
Cause you was riding with him, he couldn't do what the fuck he wanted to do.
I'm riding with them. Like, goddamn, man, what do you think I'm gonna do?
I mean,
I'm riding with you.
Kanye has this line that I use all the time. Even though you're in a Benz, you're still a nigga in a coupe. So I mean,
and that's the damn truth, man. And I feel like every officer that's not of us, that doesn't come from the hood, that wasn't raised around black people, they have this fear of us, again, retaliating against them because of the things they've done to us. That's all it is. It's guiltiness on their part.
It is. And everything you said, I agree. Again, I know you're not on the show to get kudos, right, wrongs, but what you
felt passionately about it.
No.
Yeah.
What you're saying is right. I mean, they are aggressive. The white folks are, and again, you know, if you're not the white person we're talking about, then just don't let this shit offend you. But if you are, we're fucking talking about you. But white people are aggressive in their acts. But again, I feel that their aggression,
those are the true thugs.
Their aggression is different. It doesn't come from pain, from hurt, from not the have-nots, like like it does with us. You know, so again, thanks for the call, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate y'all having me on.
No, I appreciate you calling and save the number. Tune in. If you ever have something to spit and talk to us about, because not only are we trying to sit here and give y'all some knowledge and educate you and pitch you onto some stuff and have a conversation, we're also here to gain knowledge from you guys as well.
Yeah, we want to hear from people who are listening and watching as well.
So once again, thank you for tuning into the Socially Responsible Podcast. We got a lot of good shit for you for the rest of the show.
Right on, man.
All right, fam.
Have a good one.
So,
Thank you,
It's a
Dante.
blessing.
so do you know any cops personally? Or?
I know a couple of cops first. I have a cop friend I used to work with at AT&T. Fucking cool. He's Batman. Like, he is Batman to me. I know him personally. And he's a good guy.
Dude, I just want to know. Like, I just want to
dated a
ask a
cop.
cop.
I dated
Like,
a cop.
do they fucking know that getting pulled over is the most frustrating shit ever?
They don't like stops. They don't like doing traffic. They understand
Like,
that.
I've seen like white people get pulled over. Like, motherfucker, what you pull me over for? Like, and I get to that point when I get pulled over, and then another cop come and like they were saying like, oh, like what the fuck, nigga, my tag is a month late. Like, what all these police here for? Now I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's fucking frustrating. And then to have to sit there and just let this motherfucker be like, hey, I don't want to hear that shit, man. Like, it's fucking frustrating. Everybody get frustrated when they get pulled over. Like,
Yeah.
especially if it's like, you know how many times I've been, what the fuck you pull me over for? Like, I want to say that shit so bad. Like, why can't I just go to work, man? What the fuck are you pulling me over for?
No,
Why do you need other cars behind you for some bullshit? You know what I'm saying?
Or
Like, what the fuck was you scared
tail
of?
light
Like,
that's out.
I've gotten beat up by the cops. No bullshit. I was definitely one of these situations.
talking shit?
No, not talking shit. Just got pulled over and fucking harassed and jailed and locked up. Fucked up. I have a big ass scar on my head right here from it. I had busted lip, bleeding, everything in Selma. It was a very bad situation. Adrian Gilbo, my nigga, and Mike Clark, they'll attest to it. And I did nothing. I did absolutely nothing. I could have made this something, but that was back then when I didn't know what something was. You know, I'm a nigga from, you know, from Northeast San Antonio. Grew up by niggas from the East Side. We don't know that we have, like, that's bad. We feel like that's how the cops treat us, and we just move with it. You know, we don't realize that, you know, we have, this was back in the day before killing cops was publicly known, before Facebook, but when it was just fucking MySpace. That was the deal.
Killing cops or cops killing?
Cops killing us.
There you go.
You know, the biggest thing we heard back then was Rodney King, and niggas was getting killed by cops all the time. And now we have a new name every other month, damn near, you know? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, it was a different situation back then. But I will say that, you know, we have to understand where we're at. Like we have to fight with our heads, not with our fists. We're not going to win that fight. We're not.
Yeah, but that topic is like never ending, because it's going to keep going back and forth too. You can fight with your head and still lose. Fight with your fist, you still gonna lose. So it's one of those topics where you damned if you do and you kind of damned if you don't.
But if you fight with your hands, you live. You live to fight another day.
So Damon,
Where's that from?
Friday.
Go ahead.
J.R. Wesley says, DC, don't say the names, but our teammates are full of shit.
Yeah, no, we had, oh, fuck, boy. Oil?
He said, don't say no names.
I didn't say names. Oil, Jason?
You can't.
No.
Somebody dark or
You fucking
something?
shit up.
No. He'll understand. It's very discreet. Kind of like Ashley Madison. But
We both smashed. Decoded.
no, it's a dude. But no, this is the thing. Like people, you think people rock with you. Last week when we got off the show, my closing argument was make sure you don't have fucking squares in your circle, right? KK found this shit out this week, right? And he probably already knew, but them motherfuckers was out. This election is coming up. You know how many friends I'm gonna lose between now and November 3rd, November 5th? You know how many fucking friends I'm going to lose from here till then? You understand how many people are intimidated by my blackness? You know? So we had a friend that was kind of like someone we rocked with. We played football with. Somebody we felt that had our back. We went to battle with these guys. Coming to find out,
Not so much. He's one of the people in that alley that you would walk down.
yeah, he wrote a laundry list of how he felt about some of these shootings, about how he felt. It's like they don't understand.
They don't, man. They don't fucking get it.
They don't understand why we're here or why we feel about how we feel. And the crazy thing about it, I posted this on social media. I simply said that you have to understand how slavery affected black people for those 400 years. Mind you, in those 400 years, a generation was about 15 fucking years. So in those 400 years, you have a good, 20, 25 generations that treatment and that fear and that livelihood was passed down. 20 to 25 generations. It fucked us up. Now, on the flip end of that, you have to understand how a white individual, they had that same privilege. 25 fucking generations.
After that, yep.
You have to understand that through those 400 years, it fucked up white people as well. You know what I mean?
No, I get it. Yeah.
So they have
have
this undying privilege that this world and this country is theirs.
They don't understand how they came to that belief.
They don't, and they're fucked up on accident. You know what I mean? So I don't have no sympathy for them at all. Trust me, I don't. But you know, like, y'all have to realize y'all are fucked up too. It's not just us going through this psychological shit. Y'all are psychologically fucked up too. This privilege y'all have, it shouldn't be had. Y'all need to get that shit fixed. Mm-hmm. It's not us that needs to go to counseling. Y'all motherfuckers too. Go ahead.
I think what really sucks about, like, what you're talking about is a lot of, like, whoever it is you're talking about who made a long list of things, people like that, there's a lot of people who are like that, and they're not even trying to get any understanding. Like, they don't even try to understand why we feel the way we feel.
They don't even listen.
That's what I'm saying. They don't. They're niggas. They ignorant because they not. You know, they not trying
Wiggers.
to.
Did y'all comment on the shit?
Jason didn't. I don't know if I did. I woke up in the morning and Jason's like, "Man, check this goddamn post out." But there was another guy on our football team that said something. And I got in his ass. I know I said something on that one, and I don't think we're friends anymore.
He says he's gonna send you a text that's gonna shock you.
Okay, but that's the thing. So hey,
that's that alley you gonna go down.
That Toby guy that I was rapping, that was Jason in the locker room. Jason was the first nigga I knew with a south side fade. I thought that was the ugliest ass haircut ever in life.
I thought so too.
He had that ugly ass south side. That nigga was straight from A-Leaf. That one nigga was SWAT nigga. He was.
Nigga got goals.
He don't have goals.
Niggas with them south side goals go with it like it's a fucking.
He don't have goals. Nigga ain't got no hair right now neither though. So the niggas completely bald.
You don't really need no hair for no south side though, do you?
Well, he don't have enough for a south side.
That's just that little bitty piece right there.
Patch.
Yeah, that shit was a mess.
Coochie patch.
Yeah, that was horrible.
I couldn't do it.
But that nigga, that cool nigga. Me and him used to argue all the time. But he's a good guy. But yeah, we have stories. Like you'd expect people that would fuck with you. And this was a big, D1 program. You know what I mean? This was Big 12 football, Texas Tech. We was in Lubbock, Tech. I learned a lot about racism in college. I learned a lot in Lubbock, Texas.
Where you was at?
Lubbock.
Nigga, in Lubbock.
Lufkin.
Nigga, I learned a lot about it. I learned a lot about how, you shouldn't be this black this week, And it's crazy because when I got to college, that's when I understood I was a black individual. I grew up in high school, my family, so I was always a nigga. I was black. I was my family the whole time. But I didn't realize how black, like my blackness, I didn't realize it until I got around white folks because it was different. I didn't have that same scene that I saw at home every day.
Yeah.
So that is when I became the nigga that I am today. What'd he say?
He says he's not from the hood and he had hoes.
He did have hoes.
But he said he sent it to you.
I'll check it out. Hey, do I need to check it now, Jason, or should I check it after the show? Let me know.
He says read it on the show.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. Read it, Brandon. You got the code to my phone.
But it's so many cities though in Texas, man, that you.
Jasper, shit. The shit he was talking about that nigga.
You gotta stay the fuck. What's the one out there about Corpus?
Oh no, he didn't wrote a book.
Is it Viter? Is it Viter or
Viter is going towards Dallas.
Is that the city that's all fucked up? That you're not. It's a city with a V. I can't remember the name of the shit.
It's going towards Dallas. They always say don't stop there.
Yeah, that's it.
They dragging people behind their car.
Yeah, I had when I was with DHL, I had a few cities I would go to, and most cities have them little cities just like one big ass Ace Hardware store, and you can in a one corner store, and they be like, "Hey, you lost?" I'm like, "Shit, no sir."
Real
turning
quick.
the fuck around.
So Jason sent me this, and I guess it's someone from the team that posted this, I'd assume. He said that guy had a warrant out for his arrest for sexual assault, and his own girlfriend called the cops on him. When are black people going to stop making career criminals who make bad decisions and fight with police be an example to put on T-shirts?
Somebody posted that shit on.
Let me finish.
Online.
And he says this is how they think.
He said, all you're doing by excusing this behavior is teaching your he has an issue on how we're teaching our youth, right? This motherfucker. Behavior is teaching our youth that it's okay to be criminal and resist arrest and fight cops because we will have your backs. That is wrong. More black kids will die at the hands of cops as a result. They'll only act more hostile towards police and end up dead. Holler at me when you want to support for real injustice, but I'm sitting this one out. Fuck Jacob. I don't know why I said Taylor. I thought it was Jacob
Blake.
Jacob Blake. But he said, fuck Jacob Taylor. I'm not putting him on my T-shirt. Let me know when we march or protest for Andre Emmett. I'll put Dre on my T-shirt. A real hero with real injustice.
He black me?
Who? No, the guy
That was stupid. Next.
is a white guy.
Oh, he a white guy?
I would assume. Jason, was he a white guy, black guy? I mean, this is the
You talking
shit
about the basketball player from Tech?
Yeah, he
Oh.
got shot. Yeah, he would put Andre Emmett on his shirt
Oh, okay.
and support his murder for injustice as opposed to Jacob Blake, which is
Okay, so tell
first of all, fuck you for getting this dude's name wrong. His Jacob Blake. It's not Jacob Taylor.
He said it was a typo.
Oh, okay.
But that's the thing, though, man. Like, they don't understand. Okay, the two niggas got in trouble for that shit. For killing Andre Emmett.
Quick, fast, justice was served.
Cameron, 2 days them niggas was in jail.
But
That's my point.
That's
my whole point.
justice was served in that.
this is the thing about that. So you have situations like that, right? And this is how much they have us realizing how much we are unvalued as a race, right? Mm-hmm. Black people will see another black man and be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get that nigga, right? We see a white person fancy car, we're like, we ain't gonna fuck with that nigga. We get life fucking with that white dude.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fuck. We understand our consequences for robbing, raping, or harassing a white individual.
Still.
We know we ain't gonna get no
Still.
real time for fucking with a nigga if we get caught. And that's even if they fucking do a criminal investigation on this case. So it's like we understand, like psychologically on the back end, we don't even value ourselves because we know we ain't shit by them. We know you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So that's the bad thing about it. Like they got us so fucked up. Like guys, like the shit we're doing. Criminals are gonna be criminals. Be criminals. Do what you want to do. I get it. You know, not everybody's good. Whatever. That's what it is. You'll be whatever.
Right.
But guys, we gotta be smarter. And I'm not talking about black on black crime is the thing because black on black crime is
It needs to stop. It's fucking.
Crime needs to stop.
Yeah.
All of the above is my stance.
But you
But
have
we
to understand-
we would be doing the same marching and looting if I kill you, I kill her, you kill, and get away with the shit like the police get away with it.
It's a bad situation. So I mean, we could talk about this all day. So
Yeah.
After this Jacob Blake situation happened, the guy was dead. Something good happened. Chris Paul was one of the first guys that made this stance. Check.
Series is tied now. What did you find at the end of this game that helped you guys pull away?
I don't know. That's all good and well. I just want to send my prayers out to Jacob Blake and their family. You know, the things that, we decided to come down here to play for, and we said we're going to speak on the social injustice and the things that continue to happen, to our people. It's not right. It's not right. So the win is good, but voting is real. I'm going to challenge all my NBA guys, other sports guys. Let's try to get our entire teams registered to vote. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff going on in the country. Sports is cool, it's good and well. It's how we take care of our families, but those are the real issues that we got to start addressing.
So that was something that was kind of dope. So Chris Paul came out and they're asking about the game, and you understand the NBA came back because of Black Lives Matter and they're going to support everything. So that was kind of dope. He actually stood by it. Instead of coming back for Black Lives Matter, he never addressed it during the season. You're like, oh, we're back for Black Lives Matter shirts, logos on the field, logos on the court. And it's like, hey, let's talk about this shit. Something happened. This is what we're here for. Let's address what we're here for. I thought that was dope.
Yeah, for him to actually speak on it. I think a lot of, I don't want to say a lot of them because he actually took a stance.
Yeah.
To for in that moment, which is I don't want to be wrong, but I haven't seen very many, take it. I know we watched, what's his name, the sports dude.
Kenny Smith.
When
he jumped off.
But I
off
mean,
stage.
for a player.
He stood up. So Chris Paul is the head of the NBAPA, National Basketball Association National Basketball Players Association, NBAPA or something like that.
He's the head of that?
The president of that, Chris Paul.
I didn't even know.
So he handles all the player relations type shit. He's the person that the NBA talks to, and then texts him, and he talks to the players. Any grievances and complaints goes to Chris Paul, and he talks to the NBA. He's that guy.
I didn't even know they had that. I didn't even know that existed.
And you know now, he's that guy.
Wow.
He's that guy. So it's a real serious thing. So anyway, he's the head of that. So it's good that he spoke on it. This was the Monday when he spoke on it. The shooting happened Sunday. That happened Monday. They played their Monday games. They played their Tuesday games. Milwaukee was supposed to play on Wednesday. They did not play. They're the first team that actually had the first actual protest. Kind of like the sit-ins that would happen. They had a protest, say, hey, we're not fucking going out and playing because of X, Y, and Z. After that, Major League followed. The Twins said they're not playing. MLS, which is the soccer league, they're not playing.
MLS.
Hockey, they're not playing. Osaka, the 17, 18, 19-year-old phenom.
I think she's only 16.
16-year-old tennis phenom. She was in the semi-finals match. That was right before you go to the finals. Right before you go to the championship. She said, I'm not playing today. I'm good. Fuck y'all. At the end of the day, I'm a black person first, so I'm not going to play.
She said she's a black woman first, right?
A black woman.
She's on black woman first. Yeah.
I'm a black woman first, and I'm not playing.
Like I'm out.
Yeah, and I'm glad they let her postpone the match and then just disqualify her like they were supposed to, and they're gonna still let her go back and play. So that was kind of dope. The NFL, I think the Detroit Lions didn't practice that day, which is weird because they need as much practice as they can get. But they decided not to practice. The Cardinals are thinking about not playing the first game of the season.
Houston Texans as well.
Houston Texans. Cliff Kingsbury, head coach at the Cardinals at Arizona. NHL. I think they're the last ones on the list. They said we're not playing anymore.
God darn it, we got to go ahead and join too.
Yeah, and they're playing in Canada. I think they have 2 different bubbles in Canada. And all the games, like the bubble in Orlando for NBA, they have 2 different bubbles in Canada, so they're playing out their games there. So they didn't play
trying to get in one of these
either.
bubbles.
Yeah, Kenny Smith, like you said, he walked off the set and said he's going to stand in solidarity with the players, even though he's not a player. But he just feels like he just shouldn't work today. I'm going to support them. Yeah, Chris Webber, he said some dope shit. Right?
He had some sentiments.
Check it out.
I have young nephews I've had to talk to about death before they've even seen it in a movie. If not now, when? If not during a pandemic and countless lives being lost, if not now, when? That's all I just want to hear from the rest of the night while everybody's pontificating and thinking and soapboxing and all of that. We know nothing is going to change. We get it. If Martin Luther King got shot and risked his life, Medgar Evers, if we've seen this and all of our heroes constantly taken down, we understand it's not going to end. But that does not mean, young men, that you don't do anything. Don't listen to these people telling you don't do anything because it's not going to end right away. You are starting something for the next generation and the next generation to take over. Do you have to be smart? Yes. Do you have to make sure that you have a plan? Yes. Do you have to be articulate about that plan? Yes. All of those things. But that's what you're going to do. They're professionals. They know how to be the best of themselves. And so I applaud it. I applaud it because it is the young people. It is the young people leading the way, and I applaud them.
That was a powerful statement, Didi.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, we have a fight, right?
There is a fight. It's been going on for a long time.
Yeah. So I mean, y'all keep the fight. Your daughter, your kids.
Mm-hmm. My 24-year-old daughter. I have a son who's 9, and
she's fighting for him. Shit.
Yeah. So.
Is your daughter active in it?
I don't think she's really active in it.
She's aware.
She's aware of it. She's aware of how she needs to behave. She's like all the stuff that we talk about. I've had that. She's in Fort Worth, Dallas right now. Or she's Fort Worth.
Might as well be Dallas, right?
Yeah,
Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah, because it's not Fort Worth, Dallas. But she's there, and so I check on her, and that's what's crazy is because I am checking on her, and when I'm talking to her, I have to talk to her about, police, behavior, all this, what we have to talk to our kids about, how, make smart decisions and stuff like that. So, I mean, I get it,
It'll get better.
You know, it's. I hate to say it is what it is because it shouldn't have to be that.
Yeah.
You know, but all I can do is just make sure I continue to talk to her and that she's aware. Mm-hmm. And just make sure she's saying them prayers.
Well, this is a good time because I mean, things are going to change. You know, that one song Sam Cooke, "Change Will Come." You know, I mean, this is that time. This is a very good time in history. I am curious on what these historians will say about this in our kids' history books. What are they going to say about Black Lives Matter, man?
Nothing. There are no books.
Well, they're pamphlets. They're pamphlets or whatever they're going to have in the future.
They're not getting ready to have no Black History worksheets for the kids to go home with and study.
What the fuck is it you're learning with our tax dollars?
I think for me, I just think this shit is crazy. It's crazy that all this stuff is happening all over again, that history is repeating itself. It fucking sucks. It's dumb to me. It should have been already over with, but it's starting back up. But I feel like it's starting back up. There's a reason behind it. And every time, you know, we talk about this a lot, we talk about this often, there's a reason why this stuff is going on again. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but there's a reason why this shit is repeating itself. And part of me wants to say that it's repeating itself is because we're allowing it to happen. We're still divided. We're still very much so divided.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, so I think that's part of the problem. That's
division will always fuck up anything.
So yeah, that's what division is created for, the divide.
The fuck up everything.
So until we can start to fucking get along,
we'll have to figure that out, right? I mean,
to me, it looks like it's a long journey. I don't know. I don't want to be negative, but it just seems like it's way far up the road.
One, I don't think shit has ever stopped. I don't think this is something new. Not saying you said that, but I just don't think that it's ever stopped. I think what has changed is that technology has gotten better, so now it's being recorded, so we can see what's happening in Kenosha. We can see what's happening
in our faces.
We can see what's happening in Minnesota that we would have never ever seen before. Mm-hmm. Now you have an iPhone that you can just slap down and press record, and it records automatically. Mm-hmm. So now the ability to get access to your recording devices are easier. And then everyone has one now, whether you're fucking 55 or 5. Everyone has a recording device. So those are the issues that. So as far as things have not changed, it's just being recorded. Racism hasn't changed; it's just being recorded, as Will Smith said. I think Will Smith said it. But then, kind of like we were talking about earlier when I read that message that Jason sent me from a teammate of mine. This is another guy who was a teammate in the NFL, of course, a white gentleman by the name of I Can Hit Hard Like Brian Urlacher. If I made a yellow, hell yeah, I'm about to macker.
Okay, real quick. Yeah. If anybody knows where that is from,
please let us know.
Please tell us.
Sing it again, Damien. What's the rap line? Do it again.
It's a Houston deal. So it's like from one of those North Side 10s or the before the cap or after the cap. He was like, I can hit hard like Brian Urlacher. If I meet a yellow head, yeah, I'm about to macker.
Who sings that or who raps that?
I think it was Magno that said some shit like that in one of his freestyles. But anyway, Brian Urlacher was in the news again. Not again, but he put out a tweet. All right. He said Brett Favre played the Monday Night Football game the day his dad died, threw 4 touchdowns in the first half, and was a legend for playing in the face of adversity. NBA players boycott the playoffs because a dude reaching for a knife, wanted on a felony sexual assault warrant, was shot by police. So he doesn't believe in this whole thing. He's more concerned about the specific shooting and the specific individual as about the shit that we're kneeling for and fighting for, which is the injustice and the inequality of black men in the system when it comes to our whatever with authority. Whether it's the government, whether it's a police lady, whether it's somebody in a supermarket, whether it's a manager at a store. That is the issue. It has nothing to do with someone being shot because they're getting... It's the overall situation for black people sucking. If you don't realize that there's inequality and there's racism in the city and there's inequality in the judicial system, then where the fuck have you been these last umpteen years? That's the shit that Brian Urlacher said, and that's the shit why he's kind of the whole Chicago Bears organization said we don't fuck with him no more. We don't stand by nothing he said. We don't get it. These organizations, y'all don't understand. Y'all white folks that are out here saying this shit again. If this is not you, don't fucking comment because I'm not talking about you. But all y'all white folks or whatever the fuck you want to call yourselves, or even black people that are shunning the black race and are forcing America to fuck with us. Like, you understand, this is not a line that you want to cross. It's not a threat, but you're giving us that backing that we've never had before that you don't want the black society have. You have people that are screaming Black Lives Matter that would never even give a thought about a black life before because it was never in their existence.
Right.
Now they're having sympathy and caring. So the more shit that you're doing, you're alienating yourself from the world and you're giving us more power. So I thank you. We need that support as a black race, as a minority.
That I will say that did change the support, because I didn't think there was going to be very much support.
The NFL apologized for not supporting Colin.
Yeah.
4 years, 5 years later, they apologized. We should have supported Colin when he was trying to make. Like, you have the NFL, who people compare to a plantation slave trade when it comes to the draft and how they orchestrate the league and how they run their league.
Oh, yep, but it still is though. That's the way they do it.
Oh man,
that's.
And then after all of this shit that happened, Didi, out of everything that happened, the guy being shot, NFL protesting, NBA, sports organizations,
all of it.
Guess what happened? This motherfucker came into Wisconsin with an AK-47 from the neighboring state, Illinois, and just shot some motherfuckers.
How he doing?
Y'all, hey, this white on white crime has to stop.
How he doing?
This white on white crime.
Is he still alive?
He's breathing. He's alive. Hey, unfortunately, fortunately, Jacob Blake is alive.
Yeah.
He didn't die. He got shot 7 times in his back. He's alive.
Good for him.
But he may be paralyzed from the waist down.
But is he still alive? How many times did he get shot?
He got shot, actually, let me count. No. 0 times, actually.
Okay, that's my point. All right.
0 times.
That's my point.
And as Jacob Blake was in the hospital bed, paralyzed from the waist down, guess what? Guess where his hands were?
Where was his hand?
Handcuffed to the bed.
They handcuffed his ass to the bed.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he's gonna run away. They had him handcuffed to the bed as he was shot 8 times in the back, paralyzed.
So that's my point when we have this discussion. It's not about white. It's not about black. It's the way that the one that's getting the better treatment. And I'm gonna put it, okay, so that way I don't have to say the color.
The color, yeah.
The color. There should be equality, and there's no equality. There's no equality in the treatment.
Not only was he handcuffed to the bed, they had
that's
officers.
Some bullshit.
They had officers outside of the door, watching his door, making sure he doesn't escape, or someone.
But there aren't any officers in his room, and he's not tied to the bed.
Oh no,
that's that bullshit.
Nah,
that's that bullshit.
So
that's my point.
In defense, he's actually in jail facing like 6 charges, 2 murders, 2 murder charges. He has a pretty bad situation on his.
But he didn't get shot.
He also surrendered. Different situation. Now, one thing I will say about white people that are doing these bullshit crimes, mass shootings and things like that.
They know they can go and shoot and
they're literally surrendering. They're doing bad shit.
I'm gonna go shoot these motherfuckers that I don't like, and then I'm gonna surrender because I know they're gonna treat me different. So I'm gonna shoot everybody I want to shoot, and then I'm gonna surrender, and I know I'm gonna go to Burger King before they send me to jail.
Yeah, I mean they're surrendering. White people, they play the system well. Black people, we don't really surrender too much.
That's that aggressive passiveness.
Exactly.
That we just finished talking about.
And black people are not going to surrender. We're not going to. We know what we're facing. We're trying to get out that situation. There's been times where black people have surrendered and still got shot.
Yeah.
So I mean,
again, another one of my points.
Yeah.
You're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't.
So it's one of those things. But I've also seen situations where white people have surrendered and got murdered. There was a guy in a hotel in Vegas or whatever. That little boy that was in a hotel, and he literally surrendered. He's on the ground, and a police unloaded like 20 shots in his ass. Damn. It was a bad situation. It was worse. It was not worse, but it was up there with a lot of the shit that happened with black folks. There was a white cop shooting another white guy. It was
that white on white crime needs to stop.
That shit that's horrible. Y'all are doing an injustice for yourselves. But that white boy it was a bad situation. It wasn't good. Again, I don't think it's cops. I think it's the individual. So when we see those bad situations, the situations where the white guy is attacking the police officer and the police officer chooses not to pull his gun out, I think he didn't do it not because he was white. I think it's because he was a good fucking cop. Because good cops do exist, right? Let's not pretend like they don't.
It just seems like they don't ever exist when it's...
No, it's not that. It's just what we see. We see a lot of traffic stops. We see a lot of traffic stops in situations where a black person should be killed by a white person. You would think it, and the white cop has probably handled it properly. We don't see those on camera, though. Those
I don't
aren't
want to say that somebody should be a black... What did you say? A black cop should be... What?
Well, what I said, and I probably said it while, so let me tighten it up. So there's probably situations where a white cop is in a situation with a black bad guy or whatever, and there's a situation where like the white cop should probably shoot the black guy, not because he's black, because he's doing some bad shit, and the white cop chooses not to shoot the black guy and apprehends them differently. So those situations do exist. Let's not act like they don't.
Right.
We just don't see them and they don't get recorded, but they happen pretty often. I'm sure.
In other words, you have a
good cops exist.
You have a good cop who's actually doing
the
right thing.
We're just seeing the bad cops
with a black person.
Exactly. Whether it's race related or not, they're bad fucking cops. We're not going to pretend like race isn't a thing, but they're just bad cops. So we have Kyle. We've heard he had Molotov cocktails thrown at him. He was kicked in the head. Someone hit him with a skateboard. We heard he was doing self-defense measures on videos, which kind of shows he was kind of in a self-defense situation. We've seen a lot of things. We saw him shoot one guy, then run off. And he got hit in the head with a guy with a skateboard, and he came back and shot that guy, and then laid fire out and spread some shots around other places.
He got to do a lot of shit.
And then he surrendered to the cops. And then there's even situations where cops were passing him, but he wasn't working for the cops. Now I'm going to say this, and I said this before. The cops kind of let him go because he was familiar to the cops, not because he was working for the cops, but he was part of a group that was quote unquote helping out the cops.
But they shouldn't have let him go based on that. What he did was still wrong. That's the problem.
But I don't know. I don't know for sure if they saw him murder the guys or if they saw people running and saying he murdered somebody. So again,
but he out there with a damn gun with his mouth open.
He always had a gun
so
though.
He was yelling.
But the militia that he was with, all of them had guns though. So the cops knew they had guns because they were there to quote unquote help the cops, so to speak. Vigilante type. Not vigilante, but hey, we're here. It's nothing wrong with walking down the street with a gun. You can do that legally.
Yeah,
you know,
but it's
different when a white and a black person, but you can do it legally. So
talk about black and white.
There's so much issues in this story that are gonna be uncovered, and you know, he's going to be tried by a jury of his peers.
Yeah.
So when it comes to something like this in self-defense, he might get the fuck off. He might get a weapons charge. I don't think he'll get his 2 murder charges because again, he shot one guy that hit him in the head with a skateboard. And of course they have that stand that ground shit, stand your ground, which I don't know if it's in that state, Wisconsin, but it does exist in other states, Florida, i.e. Florida, I believe here in Texas. And then the other guy that he shot in the video, I'm not sure what happened. There was Molotov cocktails they said they were thrown at him. So there's a bunch of information, a bunch of rumors out there. So we don't know what the truth is yet, but this is going to be interesting. I'm kind of curious what's going to happen to him. Right now he has 6 charges, weapons charges, 2 murders, and some other things on him. Because again, he came from Illinois across state line, 17 years old, carrying a weapon that was bought by his mother to him. Illinois is a state, I know Chicago for sure is a state that guns are not allowed. It's a city that guns are not allowed in Chicago. I think Illinois is a state like that, kind of like New York, where guns are not allowed. So how he possessed that is another conversation. But that's the story, man. That's the whole spiel on Jacob Blake and everything that transpired due to that. So it's a lot of information that we don't know. We literally told y'all a bunch of rumors. Because we don't have the information, but again, we'll come back to it.
But hey, we give them what we've been given.
I appreciate the NBA and sports because I've always said that sports has been one of those things that have given us equality. Mind you, before sports, white folks didn't fuck with us. Then we started winning games for the team, for the Yankees. We started hitting home runs for the Yankees. All of a sudden,
you were doing something for them.
But it is something that.
And they decided to profit from it too. Yeah,
they banking, but we profited as well. Again, not like them, so I'm not trying to say one is good, but you know, sports. If it wasn't for sports, we'd still be niggas to this day to them. You know, we'd be.
Are. You just, it's
exactly.
Just not it's passive.
As open, yeah.
It's passive.
It wouldn't be as passive. We would still be years beyond civil rights.
Yeah.
But they realized they never realized we're humans and we're just like them until they started coaching our kids in Little League. And their kids were hanging out. Like on, what was that movie, Remember the Titans? When you had the mother and realized, like, he's just a normal boy like my boy. And then all that you realize, now we're human because you realize we're people too. Sports helped out with that. If it wasn't for sports, we'd still be, you know what I mean? And even the shit that they went through, like Jackie Robinson, of course, he was in the major leagues with the Yankees. They chose him not because he was the best, because they felt he could mentally handle the bullshit that they knew he was going to handle. That's a hard task to give somebody.
To mentally handle. So we know you can mentally handle this shit, so we're going to load it on you.
So I feel that you can take being called a nigger more than he can. And I feel like you'll take it and won't fight back, and he'll kind of do some nigger shit. So we're going to have you come to the majors for us. It was one of those type of situations, but it had to happen, and look where we're at now because of it, which sucks that we have to say, like, look where we're at now. So that's one of those situations. So again, you know, this is where we're at. We're in a country to where we're still visiting the same shit.